Hello and welcome to our first ever Powermon doubles tournament. I'm joined today by Yuta and Dardevilmason to give our thoughts on the Genie Division. This will be our first ever time conducting a VGC style tournament, and along with that, the first time ever Powermon will be designed for doubles. Will the best strats involve mass spread moves, or will the support mons rise to fame? Find out on this season of Powermon.
We can actually look at the Genie's draft tab if you want to have kind of an idea of what was drafted early and like kind of the crazy picks that might have been made late. Because I'm looking at it Ursaluna Blood Moon, just right there. It's still insane that it went so late.
Yeah.
But like someone maybe abandoned it and it got picked up, but that's insane to see so far down.
Yeah, sometimes it's like a strategy though for drafting where it's like sometimes like especially something like Ursaluna Blood Moon, like it's a risk to obviously, you know, not take it right away. But you can like have like an idea of people's teams at that late point in the draft, and then like you can see what kind of power mon that's like a high point mon that could go well into most people's team.
Whether that was the intention or not, it definitely worked really well to get it that late. If that was the intention, we'll be talking about now whether or not we think that's gonna work out for them in this division. And I do believe that is one of the two teams that I was looking at originally for top 2 in this division.
It is?
I think so. Having the Mega Sharpedo with the Vicious Rend, having the Lucario on the team, I think that Ariados with the Dazzling is going to provide a lot of... it's going to have a good impact for the team, I think.
Ariados, you think is going to have impact?
It's the ability in this format, this VGC format. I think that ability can have an impact.
Well, then I'll take Steelix, you know? If I really gotta have priority immunity, I'll take Steelix in that team. That's actually something I think I pointed at in my power rankings. So, like, Ariados does feel unnecessary because you took Armor Tail on Steelix, so like, why is it there? It's kind of like 30 points.
Does the Armor Tail protect the teammate as well?
I believe so.
Fairly certain it does.
It does. Okay, yes, it does. Okay.
All the priority immunity abilities do work the same way.
Okay, no, I didn't know if that one did or not, but
I feel
okay,
like
that's fair enough.
The idea behind Ariados is the fact it gets access to sticky webs, but like in VGC kind of format, sticky webs doesn't really come into play all that much. Like you're not gonna get much that's gonna contest it if it gets put on the field, but it, like I said, most of the time, like it's not getting the value it would get in like singles, for example.
But I think it's kind of funny. You think Sen's gonna make it out? I mean, he definitely can. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I ranked him second to last in my power rankings. Granted, actual gaming and power rankings are not the same thing, but it just feels like I was talking about how Ursaluna was drafted late, and he does feel like an afterthought. Like I said in my power rankings, it's weird, it being its own Trick Room setter. It's not properly supported, and I think the team is just overall lacking something to actually clean. It has no presence on the special side apart from Starmie, which isn't gonna want to hit Surf anyway. Like I just struggle to see the vision behind the team and like how it's trying to position itself to get to endgame. I don't see the vision for Lucario as well. Let me know if I'm just the one tripping. I just don't know if Lucario was worth using so many points.
Yeah, I would say that for Lucario in particular, I don't really see the true value in it, especially when like the other things like you say that are being purchased are priority moves as it is. So Prankster, like you're giving it priority moves that you probably want to use anyways, but then you're also giving it Prankster to try and well, I don't know what you would want to do with it with Prankster. Like And
Probably the same thing that Ryolu does with it, but then it wouldn't assume such an offensive role with it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like you wouldn't have like fake out and like you maybe want fake out, but not
Yeah.
much, at least.
Yeah, the Mach Punch might have been a
it was
little
a
a
last-minute
wasted
decision.
point, but it, to be fair, like what Yuta kind of just said, it's 1 point, so it could have just been a last minute fill too.
Yeah, it was a last minute fill. I think I do remember that.
Mhm.
I'm looking at. Okay, it does get Follow Me, which I didn't know. Follow Me heal
But Prankster
pulls
wouldn't
healing.
matter for that anyway.
Follow Me heal pulls helping hand. Yeah, Follow Me wouldn't. Yeah, Prankster wouldn't have mattered. But it does get me first. It does get like a lot of.
I believe it has Parting Shot,
status
right?
Moves. Coaching as well. You get Prankster coaching.
I don't believe it gets parting shot.
No, I
yeah,
thought
it
it-
definitely gets coaching.
It does
but
not
I
get
don't-
parting
Oh,
shot. I mean,
okay.
if we're all talking about Lucario, yeah, it does not get parting shot.
Okay.
So that's a good mon for support. Like I do see it for him, but like I don't know. Okay. I guess I have a
think-
better vision of what it's trying to do, but it's still missing a carry for me or something like.
Well, no, yeah, I would agree with you there, where it's like I feel like the thing that it misses is synergy, because you have Rillaboom, which
Mhm.
obviously you want the grassy terrain on that, that's the main value, but there isn't really much that's benefiting from the grassy terrain, if I'm being honest. And you have Altaria as, I believe, the only tailwind setter on the team, so a lot of these like middling speed tiers aren't going to be able to like profit as well as they want to. And like you said, for the trick room mode, for the Ursaluna to be the one to set it as well.
Yeah, that's my main problem.
And there's not really like particularly like slow ones. Like I said, they're all like middle speed tiers or high.
Scratch what I said, because I said Starmie was the only special mon. Of course, it's not true. There's Ursaluna. It's like, and that's the problem I'm having. Is like I don't think like that Ursaluna, which kind of should be a centerpiece, is like properly supported in this team. And yeah, those are my main problems with it. I think it can definitely work though. It has some of the pieces for it.
So I will say though, I mean that Trick Room Ursaluna, it's not. I'm not a big fan of it being the Trick Room setter either, but could be going
not fan
using
of
that
it.
to set up with the Lucario with the Follow Me, or the Follow Me's to attract all moves, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
all non-spread ones.
But Lucario is not bulky enough that it will take multiple moves anyway.
could be trying to use that Terra defensively, but yeah, the bulk's not a lot.
Yeah, 70 HP defense and speed def, so like, yeah, Lucario's not gonna be tanking much. But I don't like Ursaluna being the only Trick Room setter. I
Yeah.
don't mind it having Trick Room. I just don't like that it's the only one to get it.
No, understandable.
Is- Starmie Trick Room is not really.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about these other three teams. Go ahead. Which one do you think is your number one?
Me, if I have to, for me, the last two are gonna make it out, and probably Tommy would be first place. Yeah, I think that would make the most sense.
Okay. What do you think, Daredevil?
For winner, or what do I think of Tommy's team?
For the top two.
Top two. I do think that Happy will make it through. And yeah, I would say Tommy as well, because I would want to like say that Fisher would make it through, but I mean we can talk about that team when we get there. But I had hope for it at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that the last two will make it as well. Just mainly because like, which team would we like to go into first actually? And then talk about it.
Go ahead and pick one.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we can go to Tommy's team. Like Tommy's team is quite like well rounded. Like you've got Grand Bull, which you know I personally like. It's an Intimidate Mon. It's quite low points. It gets fake out. Well, he's gave it fake out. So it's a really good like stabilizer for battles. I really love Tornadus as well. It's one of my favorite VGC ones, to be honest. So giving it Prankster Party Shot as well is quite nice. Punkross Dirge, really strong. Same with Galvanized Jolteon. Like, it's just all around, there is a bit of everything. Which is what I like about the team. It's very well-rounded.
It is, yeah. It's very well-rounded, very versatile, and I think it has a way to get out of every situation. I think the speed tiers are okay enough that you can do good things whether you're in Trick Room or in the thing that makes you fast, Tailwind. Yeah. So the Metagross Trick Room is an okay choice. I feel like Mamoswine can pull its weight in this. Like I feel like that's a great pick. I feel like that's a pretty well balanced team, and I ranked it pretty high, I think.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I would be a bit concerned about for Tommy's team is that for the most part, there's a lot of single target attacks. Like, I think the only ones that have got pretty solid spread would be Jolteon, Skeledirge, and Tornadus. Everything else is quite single target, like, noted.
Well, Mamoswine has Earthquake.
Arboliva Hyper Voice, but it's not as heavy a hitter.
You have Surf, Blizzard.
Yeah, so I don't know if he'll do Arboliva with Hyper Voice. Like, it is a valid strat, but like with buying the Terra bonus, I would expect probably Terra Blast, because either way, if it doesn't Terrastallize, like, it's still got Stab on it.
Skeledirge's Heat Wave.
Yeah, Skeledirge is good at spread one. But the other thing I like about Arboliva in particular, at least his one, is that it's got Rage Powder. So using that to redirect attacks to it and then activating its ability Seed Sower to get grassy terrain up is really nice.
Yeah, that might come in handy with, like, since he got a few ground weakness as well, that might be a pretty cool tech.
Yeah, and it could go into what you were saying before, Uta, with, like, Mamoswine Earthquake. Like, it might reduce the damage on his side as well, like, it's not as bad. Like, it's still gonna be weak on the enemies as well, so it might not be valid.
Oh yeah, you're probably not running the two together.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, but it offers both, like, situations where, like, you could bring both to your match, because, like I said, you bring 4, like, you play with 4, so they could prepare for maybe, like I said, Arboliva being up, but then you've got Mamoswine in. So it's very, like, you gotta predict right when it's come to, like, going into a match with the mons it brings in.
It also benefits from, like, the Terra options. I think most of these are pretty cool choices.
Yeah, I'd say that, like I said, I really like Arboliva's Terra power. Obviously, Terra Urshifu is really strong as well. Getting Stab, like, even just Terra Dark, Wicked Blow, is really powerful. Metagross as well can be used defensively or offensively, both really nice. I mean, Terra on Jolteon's quite nice as well. Can do a lot of things with that. So I think there's a lot of potential for this team.
Alright, so with that, how about we go over and talk a little bit about Happy's team?
Yeah, so, I mean, for Happy's team, what I really like about that is, like, I like, first of all, the buff that he's got for Kangaskhan, getting Break-In Swipe, because it can reduce the stats twice with Parental Bond, which is really nice. I believe Break-In Swipe also hits both targets.
It does.
I could be wrong on that one.
It does.
It does, yeah. So, yeah, that's a really powerful thing.
The one thing with Breaking Swipe is the power, I believe, is technically lower when it does hit 2 targets, though.
Yeah, but the thing is like, you're not really going for the damage, like I said, like, being able to put things on -2 just from one move, because obviously Parental Bond, like, it's really powerful. I think the Jirachi is really nice as well. The main one I actually like the most, just as a bring, not really because it's, like, the greatest mon in the world, but I really like Galarian Moltres. I'd like to see that do good things. I don't know if it will, but I like to see it.
Yeah, I think I really like this team, and I think I probably should have put it higher in my power rankings, but that's the beauty of opinions, they change. Um, Sorry, my mind just went blank there. I think it's very versatile. It gets healing, it gets spore option, it gets follow me. We don't have decorate around, do we?
Alpremi gets decorate naturally.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we got a few follow me's. We got decorate. Like we get a lot of supporting options, and Ogerpon, Welcome Wake, and Kangaskhan are all great enough that they can benefit from these things. So that's a very solid team, and the critiques that I had for it weren't necessarily like terrible. Like I criticize the speed control. Something like, I said that I said that this like feels like a team that would benefit from Sun a lot.
Yeah,
and that somehow it's
yeah.
not involved.
Yeah, no, that is what I was gonna say. That's when we're asking about who would be like the winner, so to speak. Like that's why I can't justify Happy being stronger than Tommy, is simply because if it did have Sun, I would say hands down this would be the strongest team. But because it doesn't, like you said, I think it really desperately needs it, and like it can have manual Sun, but obviously it's not the same as.
I don't
having
think
Drought.
he needs it, but I think he would have greatly benefited from it.
I think it makes his team a lot stronger. Like I said, I don't think he needs
Yeah.
it, but it makes his team so much stronger if he does.
Yeah.
So head to head, as it is, you think you take Tommy over Happy because of the Sun difference?
That's my take, at least. Like that's why I would say Tommy's is strong.
Okay.
Because without any kind of weather war, I think based on just the mods alone, I think Tommy's can win.
What do you think,
I'm
Yuta?
gonna hold off on saying that.
Okay.
Because the Ogerpon is just so good into Tommy's team. I don't really see. I mean, I guess Skeletors can do something, but then it gets kind of obliterated by Wake and stuff. I mean, yeah, I think this can really go either way. I don't know who would end being first one, but I do think these two are gonna make it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too.
And with that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Fichet's team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now.
So, yeah, go on.
Yeah, that team I didn't know what to say, which is crazy with like so many buffs having been bought. I did say that he had the best support mon in the game, so that's like, of course, it's gonna be a huge advantage. Manectric is kind of cool. Infernape is a cool choice. I like Power Spot on Zoolodon. Armatel Megastelix I think is a cool late pick. I don't believe in Dodrio. I don't think there's any amount of buffs that you would buy for it that would make it usable. Am I crazy?
I mean, we're gonna find out.
I think that Dodrio has potential, but the issue with it is that it's, like I said, it's very single targeted, and it's very frail. Like, I think it has the damage to do what it needs to do, especially, like, it can definitely snowball hard with Moxie, and like I said, like, for single target, it probably will do a good, like, number to a lot of teams if, like, they're not prepped for it. But I do agree with what you were saying before, Uta, that, like, hands down, best support mon in the game with Whimsicott. But the issue is that, at least, maybe this is just me not being a believer, but there isn't much offensive, like, pressure to, like, back it up.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like,
no, I fully agree. I think that's what I said. Because basically, it is the best support mon in the game, but I don't know what it's supporting. I guess it can side parting shot into Infinite, which is kind of cool, but then Manectric kind of kills the Spore option, so you don't want to use these two together. I love Good Isopod. It's been amazing in the other seasons of Powermons up to this point, but I just don't know if it's enough to make it good in doubles. I don't know. it's very bulky. It has a lot of attack, but it doesn't get any spread moves, and I don't think it gets a lot of utility to make it worth bringing over other options.
The other thing that I see as well that is a bit of like a concern to me at least is the fact that a lot of the options that would be quite like damning to an opposing team is very easily countered with safety goggles as well. Like it stops Appleton's Rage Powder. I believe it stops Spore as well. I could be wrong on that one, but I believe it does. So the two things that would really cripple a team can be blocked with one item. And like you said, like there are other techs that's quite nice. Like I said, I'd like to see Parting Shot into Infinite. That would be pretty nice to see, especially because Infinite can also obviously generate like its contrary stats with like Overheat in like close combat as well. Depending on which way you want to go with it. But yeah, like you said, like the Hadron Engine kind of stopping Spore as well. It's not the most ideal.
Yeah, there's a few things that just don't synergize and like kind of contradict each other. Like having 3 grass types, having 2 megas and electric terrain and Spore together. I just think it kind of went all over the place at some point.
Yeah, and this team is like absolutely terrified of Ice Type as well.
So the one thing I will say about this team, not that I disagree with anything that's been said so far, especially with the 2 megas, but what I will say is I know he has been individually playing a whole lot of mocks. If there's anybody who's going to understand their team, it's going to be him. So he might not have the best team, but I'm curious to see if he's able to understand them enough to pull a couple wins out to get out of this division.
That's very possible. He's got some options. We're always like, we're going off something that's like on a paper. I mean, not on a paper, but like on a sheet. And then it might turn out that in the battle it goes a whole different way because the player maybe didn't draft the best team, but is a very good player, or like a bad player drafted a creative team but doesn't know what to do with it. We shall see.
Yeah, but so one last point with that though too is like to your point with what you were saying about the amount of power backing this Whimsicott. I mean, you've got a 15 point in the Mega, and then your next highest point Mon is a 9 point Infernape. Everything else being below that, you're not going to have the most power.
I will say points can be deceptive though. Because,
they can.
Because it's like, sometimes it one of the Mons that obviously hasn't covered yet, and I believe it will be covered at some point, is Regigigas, which is like, it's a 9 point Mon by itself, but you buy the buff that's 13 points, so it's like, on paper it looks like it's just 9, but, you know, it could be too much, but, like, and I think that's the thing with Infinite. I think Contrary makes Infinite really scary.
It does, but, like, that's what I wrote down. I think it might lack a bit of immediate offensive power, or at least I'm a bit unclear on who the carries are supposed to be. Because Infinite is gonna need a turn or two to get set up. Like, an immediate offensive power, I can only think of Manectric, which then doesn't work with the main support of the team. So, like, yeah, I'm a bit unclear on who's the immediate offensive carry that the team is supposed to be built around is.
It'll be exciting.
But at the same time, I think he can get those things set up in a way, because a lot of the things he's invested in are like supportive Mons, and I think that will really show us, like, and it'll be reflective for the future as well, as like how far can like supportive Mons get you, because it's even like Mega Manectric, like, yes, it will get a Hadron Engine like in base form, but as soon as it Mega Evolves, it turns into Intimidate, and then you've lowered their attack a bit as well. And it can obviously Volt Switch out and do whatever it wants, and like a lot of these Mons are for helping each other. It's just, like you said, like, it needs the time to set up, but potentially, you know, if you can navigate it right, like, you will get that time.
I will say, I hadn't thought of side targeting Parting Shot when they did the power rankings. Now I'm thinking about it, and it does get a few points from me for that. I think that could be quite cool. I don't know if that was intentional, it probably was.
Yeah, it should be
it could be
a good, interesting first division to look at. So with that, I think but it was pretty much said between the two of you. You're
You
pretty.
didn't say.
My
Yeah, you didn't say who you thought. Yeah,
Yeah, I
who you
think
thought was
I think
better.
Sam will take it. I think Fishtail will understand his team, but I don't think it'll be enough. I think it'll be a good show with his team, but I don't know if it'll be enough to go against both of these other two. I'd say my other one would be. I think my other one would be Happy here. Sand and Happy.
That's fair. I agree with Happy. Like I said, I can't agree with Sam, but at the same time, like, I do think that all these teams have the potential to at least win one game in this bracket, like against each other.
Yeah,
especially in VGC, like it's all positioning and which mon did you bring and all of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if most of these went to best of 3 anyway. So
it should be fun to watch. So with that, we'll hop on over to Landorus, and we'll just go ahead and start left to right. I think on this now.
yeah. So I think this group is genuinely insane. It has the people that I put at 9, 1. Where is Private Ryan? 10, and Sushi I think is 4. That's
That is not a bad average.
That is very good because, like, I mean, 10 and 9 do seem kind of low, but generally, even at 10 and 9, I don't have many bad things to say. The teams are very, very good. And starting with Lunar, that bold Fadian combo, really, really like that. I think it can get pretty annoying to deal with.
Yeah, I think having Raging Bolt is going to be a pretty powerful mon, I think, in this format. And then having that fake out from the Iron Valiant, the Rage Powder from the Ore Beetle. Should be some interesting combos.
Can I say, does Parabolic Charge hit every opponent, or is it just the 2? Like,
I want to say it's the 2, but I'm not positive.
If it does, I think you still get discharge anyways, but...
All adjacent Pokemon.
So just the opponents, though, I think.
No,
yeah.
All adjacent. That's everybody. Adjacent, sorry.
Oh, it does say everything around it. Yeah. Okay, maybe you just can't target, though. Okay.
No, it's gonna hit the whole field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool for Iron Valiant. I don't know if you needed to double up with Rever Room.
I think it's completely fine. Like, because the other one as well, like, to look at, even though like I said, it's only 1 point, but Boltund as well can be quite nice to like boost up these like speed tiers for the team.
And that
with Boltund only 1 point, I'm fine with that.
That Reviroom, though, too, bring that for a good fairy counter alongside Raging Bolt.
I don't know if I'm seeing the trust you have in Reviroom. I don't know if it's how good it is in doubles, to be honest.
I mean, it's got a couple spreads, but I mean, if you're bringing it for a counter, you also don't need it for a spread. You're really just looking for the single attack.
I think Orbeetle's gonna be instrumental to making Ursaluna work, because we don't. Do we? No, we don't have Tailwind. I think we don't have Tailwind at all. So we only have kind of a trickle mode, and then trying to boost all speed. I think it's fine not having Tailwind when you have the Motor Drive thingies going around and priority. Hakuna is going to be good as well.
Yeah, he's gonna have a whole lot of priority.
Yeah, I'd say this team's very good because, like you said, like you've got like the solid Intimidate mon. You can always keep pivoting out of to keep lowering the attack stat. Like I said, I do like that there are 2 Motor Drive mons because, like I said, it does create like a fast mode in a very unconventional way that's quite nice. And it can also very easily be reset as well. The
problem is if you can have your electric types on the field for some reason, or like it's too risky to hit your electric moves, then unless you're using Booster Energy Valiant, your fast mode is kind of iffy, and your Trick Room setters are also not the best. I mean, Dusknoir and Orbital are okay enough, but not insane. So like the speed control exists, but it's not the best.
Yeah, I don't mind the speed control just for the simple fact that I do think Orbital can do a lot with it, and the thing is as well is like he has enough threat on the field where like you could potentially not like have really an answer to target down like Trick Room before it gets set up. Like, you know, if you've got like Dusknoir and like Raging Bolt on the field at the same time, like you probably want the Raging Bolt gun over the Dusknoir, and then it can set up the Trick Room, and if, you know, Raging Bolt survives, that's a positive, and if it doesn't, then you get a free switch into Saluna. Like, there's a lot of pivoting that goes on in this team, and I like that a lot.
With that, let's go ahead and talk about Remick, who I believe you and quite a few people would have as number 1 in this division.
Yeah, my message to Remick is don't ask for to not be in the first division again in anything. We actually did not want to put you in the first we wanted to put you in the sword division, not in this division. But we had enough people for every division. We didn't have to bump up someone, so you got away with that. But you got away with murder. Look at that team. That's genuinely insane.
It's insane that like nothing was really punished or even contested. To be fair, like to have both Zapdos, which obviously with Powermons gets Drizzle, setting up the Rain, and then getting Arcaludon as well, like one of the best like electric like flying as well with like Hurricane, Watermons for like Rain. Like it's a very unconventional one that works really well in Rain. And Iron Bundle as well with like those kind of buffs as well, like, and even Floatzel. Like I know that Floatzel's got no buffs here, and some people might underestimate it, but I know that Floatzel can be really powerful.
He was
especially in
the he was in the 15th position. He picked 15th, and none of these picks were contested.
Yeah, it feels like Rain was never contested, which for VGC, weather or terrain, both of those two things are very important for a very strong team.
It really shows the difference in divisions, though.
That's freaking Zapdos Rain. Okay, at least Zapdos itself does not have Electroshock. I've dealt with that. That's insane, but it's still gonna be pretty good. And
the only thing I can...
and Iron Bundle are gonna be just insane. Mega Launcher, Origin Pulse, Iron Bundle.
Yeah, and also Terra Power, so he can Terra Water as well. Like, I don't know what lives that, to be honest.
Yeah, that is genuinely insane. And then I think the rest of the Pokemon on the team do all have a role that they fill out. Like, I don't think any point was wasted, which is why it was in my first position.
Because all the things that you'd think are unconventional, like they have the Powermon buffs that have been utilized very well. Like Ordino, you wouldn't think is very useful, but getting Hospitality and Follow Me, very useful. Like it's suddenly just become like one of the best like support mons.
Yeah, Mega Ordino, quite cool. I'm glad we found a way to make it useful. I know this one is not, but what I'm saying is we've seen a game, I think, with Mega Ordino. It was very, very good. So I'm expecting Ordino to be quite good as well.
Yeah, and the other one I really like a lot. Yeah, the one I like a lot as well that I think is probably like underlooked on this team is the Mega Absol.
Oh no.
No, I'm gonna say Absol because a lot of people think that, you know, Magic Bounce is just kind of for the hazards and stuff, which don't really appear in VGC, but like it can, you know, obviously reflect like statuses and like stat lowering moves, which in the power mons, like we've given a lot of mons that can do that kind of stuff. So to have like a Magic Bounce, and also once it's Mega Evolved, that is such a good pivot mon as well. Like you could have Iron Bundle out and then like, oh, I'm just gonna lower its stats, and then you just send in Mega Absol on a switch, and now your stats are.
And it hits like a truck. It still hits like a truck.
Yeah, and you don't have any complaints for it because like it's got I believe, I mean I could be wrong because I haven't seen it in recent times, but it should have Sucker Punch as well, good priority dog type move to
Yeah.
have. Like it's got a lot going for it. And like I said, I don't think people like think about it as much as like other than it being like the hazard reversal guy, but obviously that doesn't exist really in VGC. It's just a very good ring to have. And also, I love Frostlass, so I would never say that one's undervalued. It's one of my favorite mons.
I'm not ready for what not Absol clicks Perish Zone.
Yeah, Perish Trap. I could try that. I don't think there's anything. Is there anything that can lock the? I don't think there is. Yeah,
No, I don't think that was in his plan, but
no, but it's
I don't know. To close out the game, might be quite fun.
It's completely valid. Like, you know, in VGC, like I said, you can only bring 4 mons into a battle. If the first 2 have been nuked by Iron Bundle, you just switch in Absol, Perish Trap, and then, well, you don't need to Perish Trap, but, you Perish Song, they can't switch out. If you've got 3 mons or whatever, you just stall, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm genuinely so excited for this team, and I think it's a well-deserved first place in my book.
Yeah, definitely a very well-rounded team. So, following him, we can go on over to R6 Private Ryan, who has the VGC mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team
very
is
annoying
very
cat.
interesting at a glance because I see, like I said, like I can see the ones that are like the picks that are very typical for VGC. Like you say, you got like Incineroar, you got Goldengo, which are very notorious in current VGC. Rhyperia's doing pretty well into like Trick Room teams. Latios is one of my favorite mons, although it doesn't mean it's like the greatest in VGC. It's not bad.
Rhyperia is surprisingly good. Also,
yeah, I would say that the thing that I'm more interested in is when it kind of breaks down a bit at the back, because I'm not entirely sure where Mega Bomber Snow fits into this team.
Well, I'm not entirely sure where anything fits into this team, if I'm being honest. What I wrote down in my power rankings is that, like, we have a lot of standalone strong pieces, but I'm missing the overall vision and the cohesion behind the mons. I don't know what this is, what story this is trying to tell. And I'm not sure I understand what we're trying to do. It has a lot of strong mons. Also, I don't believe in Quaquaval. Not that much. Not enough to give it so many points.
I don't mind some of it because Fake Out plus Scrappy is very good. Because like it's one of the few things where, Fake Out can hit pretty much, well, it can hit everything now with having Scrappy. So that's very powerful with those 2 points. But the Victory Dance and Thundurus Kick, I do think, could be maybe placed somewhere else.
I feel Dragon Energy would have been a good boost for Latios. Terrors! Oh my god, Rhyperior being the only Terror is such a shame. Goldengo Incin would have been amazing Terrors, Latios would have been a great Terror as well. Having so little Terrors is just a bit sad. Yeah, I guess we're trying to have a Trick Room mode with like Spiritomb and Mega Abomasnow. That might be quite cool. That might work. Yeah, I'm just missing some of the synergy and Terrors. I think some of the buffs were not the best choices. Even Collision Course, I don't think you need that at all. Because you have Close Combat, you have other options. I just think a better budget management maybe would have like pushed this team over the edge.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with the sentiment in a way where I feel like you said, like I think it's got a lot of strong pieces, but I think if it just specialized in a specific area, it would just be so much stronger, which is what it doesn't quite do.
I think you need to push an advantage and have something that works really well, and then other pieces that you can do in case that thing doesn't work. Or at least that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely
Like I
think
said, like,
that Terra Power's gonna hurt it, like you were mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, missing the Terror is quite rough. Like I said, like with it only being Rhyperia and Rhyperia only really being like completely successful in like Trick Room, it's a heavy investment for that kind of win condition, and it seems to be the only thing that's kind of been invested in, because like I said, like it's got other strong pieces, but they don't really have like a specific team that can like support them.
Yeah. This is maybe an example of why sometimes having top-heavy teams does work better. Because here, I wouldn't say the team is top-heavy at all. Like those are all well, like balanced mons. Like the gap between the mons isn't that big. But no mon ends up shining and having its full potential being unlocked. You can't have Terra on Gold Anchor, which would really like to. You don't have Redirection, which you could have bought on Insane. You don't have Dragon Energy, which you could have had on Latios. Ultimately, I think it has the pieces to work, but it's not the one I would see make it through, I think.
Yeah, so with that, now that you mentioned making it through, let's go ahead and talk about the one that I believe you have as your second for this division. For this is smaller division, at least.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes, that would be. I would think Remek and Sushi are making it through, because Sushi was fourth in my overall power rankings. I do think he's got a decent matchup, because he's one of the few hard trick room on the entire league. I mean, because hard trick room is quite rare to come by, and I think he's got the juice to make it. His team is genuinely quite scary.
Yeah, I agree. And also the other thing as well is that yes, it's hard trick room, but it also has light sun as well. Like it's not heavy into sun, but it's got some sun potential.
Yeah.
Like it's got
with
Brute Bonnet. There's nothing that's really particularly punished by sun either. Like Blastoise can be, but Blastoise can also be run as like a support, so it doesn't need to be like used as offense for water. But yeah, like I said, it definitely leans harder into Trick Room than anything else.
That's what I love about this team, is that I feel like it is in control of what's happening. It's got White Guard, it's got Armor Tail, it's got a lot of spread moves, it's got a very strong trick room mode. It's got Sun, so it's controlling the terrain and the weather. It can reset them at any point. Like, I think this team has just a better control of the match and what's going to be happening.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Especially, like, I think just the Oranguru pairing with Mega Mawile, just alone, is going to be so, like, oppressive. Because what can you do when it instructs a huge power Mawile that can, you know, set up?
Yeah, it definitely can be a scary team.
It doesn't even need to. That's the crazy thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's got a lot of protection. Like your point, no, I don't remember which one of you said it, but the point being of he can pretty much control everything he wants to control, having all these moves with Y-Guard, Burning Bulwark.
Yeah.
He's definitely Spiky Shield. He's going to be a team that you're going to have to predict around.
It's like, you're going to want to kill that Mawile, but what do you do when Brute Bonnet is Raging Powder? Blastoise is Follow Me. Goodra is just there and very annoying to kill. Oranguru can make it Instruct, so it's going to hit twice. Like, the support around the carry is very good. And at will, with Sun, Torkoal and Brute Bonnet can get offensively very scary.
Yeah, no, this definitely seems like possibly the best Genie division, at least so far.
I'm genuinely very excited for the Rain versus Sun moment that this division is going to offer us.
Oh yeah. So with that, Utah, I'm pretty sure we know, but go ahead and confirm your top two.
Yeah, that's Remek and Sushi for me.
Yeah. Daredevil, what do you think?
I think Remek for sure. I don't see a world where that can pass. As for second, I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna say Luna can make it second.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing. I do see a world in which honestly any of these teams could. I think R6. I think would need to play it. I think he would need to play just about the best in the division to make it out. But I do see a way that any of them could. However, that being said, I do see Remek as the number one, and I do see Luna as the number two in this division, I think.
I just really want to see the motor drive work at some point.
Right?
No,
Yeah, it sounds fun to watch.
I still think Sushi is number two.
Yeah?
And well, yeah, I do think that's the case. I think offensively is just more present. Although like Lunar can make it. I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if Lunar or Ryan made it. Because I think this is genuinely, in terms of like level of the teams, this is genuinely the best division.
Oh yeah.
And I think I said Remek and Sushi would make it. Lunar and Ryan would. I probably could have said they would make it out of the division if they were in like any other division.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
This one is just stacked for
Well,
some reason.
I mean, I will say I'm taking Luna in this one, but I mean, there's nothing saying that Sushi doesn't take this with his team. Like we were saying, it's not a team to overlook. So
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say it's a landslide. Like
Yeah.
I think it's just a close one between
Would-
those two. But what team I would be more interested in seeing go through is definitely Luna's one, just because I think it's a more interesting concept.
this will be a division to watch for sure. Definitely might end up seeing your Genie champions out of this division, but now that we've gone through those two, let's make our way to Tornadus. And go ahead and kick us off with Livy.
Okay, that's the other hard trick room. Livy. Oh, I think there was some debate around yes. I said we'll praise the board
Oh,
steals
yes.
for hard committing to Stack Attacker and Wailord Trick Room of all things. Wailord as insane aura, and a lot of buffs were very good choices. I said like Power Spot, Follow Me, Instruct. Those are all good choices. The team is pretty cool. But I think ultimately, and I think that's why I put it so low, retroactively I might have put her so like a bit higher. I don't know, but it's a risky play. Like it does what it does very well, but if you get this team outside of Trick Room, I'm not too sure it works.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I actually think it can. Like, I really like the look of this team, just because it also commits to, like I said, like before, like for me, VGC is like really big about like terrain or weather, and like although it's not drizzle, Primordial Sea for Wailord is really nice. Like setting up that rain can like synergize well with Raiju, can kind of cover for Chestnut with its weakness to fire, obviously. Slow King can be empowered, so can Mantine, and Mantine gets Bleakwood and Storm on this one. A lot of the fire type reduction as well, like you've got Scizor, Copper Raja that are now kind of resistant. Well, not resistant, but like they have more defenses against like their weaknesses. So I do like it as a rain team as well. I think it has that mode as well.
Yeah, I mean, right. Rain is a weather. It's not like a speed mode. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it can work under rain, but what are you gonna do? Swift Twin Mantine? Oh, I guess that doesn't Armaldo get Swift Twin? Yeah, but it's 45 speed. You get outsped by anything with Tailwind. That's the problem. Do you wanna like in that? Because you only have rain if Wailord is on the field, and
Yeah, that is the issue that I see. It's like it's Primordial Sea and not Drizzle.
yeah, and
like-
Wailord doesn't get Tailwind. Because Armaldo to be fast enough would need both Swift Swim and Tailwind. And then again,
It's Tailwind.
yeah, but you can't have it on the field. Our mental would need to set up Tailwind and then we switch back to Wailord to have Armaldo just get enough speed. Like, you realize that's insane, right?
The core thought process with it could be to partner Wailord with a Scizor. Get that reduction of fire damage.
There's
Oh, yeah,
immunity
no.
because Primordial Sea.
Yeah, immunity. That's cool.
Oh,
I mean,
immunity,
that's,
yeah.
Also why I like Chestnut as well. It's gonna allow for like the two carries, the two Trick Room carries to do a lot of damage because it's just gonna redirect and take a lot of hits. Very cool. I like Instruct as well. Like, I genuinely like the idea behind that team. All I say is it's a risky strategy, and if you get it outside of Trick Room, I'm not sure it stands on two legs.
Fair enough. All right. After that, let's go ahead and move on to Terabyte, who I think might have one of the better ones from a quick look at it, I think, on this one. You have them relatively low.
What did you say? You ranked it low?
Utah's quick ranking. I mean, it's not too low, but
rank it pretty low. I think it's one of those teams that fell kind of low just because I felt other teams were better. Like, it's not I don't think it's a testament on how good or bad the team is generally. One of my main problems with it is Exploud. I mean, it's the special side is mostly carried by Exploud, and spread moves also are mostly carried by Exploud, which you don't want to Boom Burst because you don't have any soundproof, so you're gonna be using Protects. Like, you also don't have a Ghost type, so you have to use Protects if you want to use Boom Burst. So are you stuck with Hyper Voice? Like, I don't know. I feel it would have benefited from better spread moves than Exploud.
I do
More
think.
adapted to this team.
Yeah, I think a quick thought for me, looking at it a little closer too. I feel like that Tailwind on Esparta is a waste. I don't know. Personally, I don't like the idea of having Esparta try and set up a Tailwind. It's a little too squishy for my liking.
I mean, the other Tailwind option is Volbeat, so we're being squishy with Tailwind anyway.
Yeah, Volbeat at least can get it up with Prankster, however.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the only fake out is War Turtle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the team. Like I said, like, I don't think it's a bad team by any means. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Gouging Fire is basically just expensive Arcanine with Dragon typing. You've got Chempao, which I like a lot. I mean, I just like that Pokemon. It's very strong, but so I hope it does well. But if that's like the only addition, like, because the issue with it is it's very fragile, right? And I think that's something that this team struggles with, is that, like, it doesn't have too much bulk.
I didn't highlight what I liked, and I do agree with that. Shenpao, Blue, Gouging Fire, amazing. You're gonna be breaking down HP and defenses, and then, like, Bulu or Shenpao is gonna come in and finish it. Like, really cool. I just think it would have benefited from a better special sign mon to just top it off, and maybe bulkier supports, and then it would have been perfect.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think this team needs a bit more bulk, and kind of what you were saying before, Uta, about, like, Exploud with Boom Burst. There isn't much spread on this team. Like, again, it's kind of a bit, like, single note in a way. But I think this team has the power to back it up. It's just that, like you said, like, there just isn't the bulk. Like, you need to finish, like, your game quick, which VGC is about. Like, VGC does often not last, like, too many turns, but yeah, you're not really taking many hits with this team.
Yeah, pretty much agree with most of what was said there. It's a solid team, but we will see how it plays out into this format. On to Mr. Panda, who has one of the mons that everyone's been talking about, the Fluttermane with Astral Barrage.
Yeah, there's one in every division. We might have. I mean, we debated keeping it or not a lot. I'm glad we kept it, even if it's maybe for just one season. We'll see. This team, I ranked it third. Honestly, that team in the second, the team I ranked second, I switched around a lot in my mind, because the two teams are very, very good. Gosh, do I even need to say why it's good at this point?
I mean, to be fair, I actually am not the biggest fan of it. Maybe that's a hot take, but I'm not the biggest fan.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, now that's a hot take. I gotta listen to that.
Well, it's just that, like, Tapu Fini kind of cancels out Thundurus with most of what Thundurus wants to do, because the whole point of, like, Thundurus getting Tailwind is that, like, it's basically it's meant to be, like, a stronger, like, Tornadus. That's why, like, Tailwind is, like, given as, like, a Powermon buff. But the other thing that Thundurus gets that makes it really good is the fact that, you know, it can do, like, pranks to, like, Thunderwave and stuff, which Tapu Fini kind of negates.
Yes, but you're also not... You're never gonna want those two together, and I think that's okay. Earlier, I was saying with Whimsicott and Mega Manectric that it was a problem that the two would cancel out, because there are situations in which you would want Whimsicott and Mega Manectric together. But I don't think there's any situation in which you want Thundurus and Tapu Fini together. I think Fini's job is mostly to come in on, like, something that like Whimsicott that would want to put things to sleep and just say, hey, no, you're not doing that on my turf.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
get it, yeah. For me, it's more just the justification of it being Thundurus. Like, I feel like drafting Tornadus would have just been probably fine. I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't know how the drafting order went. Maybe it was taken before this point. But it is only round 2.
But we did see round 2 Tornadus earlier with Urshifu.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't know how the drafting order went. The other thing as well that I'm not the biggest fan of isn't the mon itself, but it's it's buff. It's Bishop. I don't see Ceaseless Edge coming in that clutch, really.
Yeah, but come on, you're really picking at straws. That's a one.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that. Like I said, I'm not saying this team sucks. I'm just saying that I just don't think it's the strongest team.
Yeah, we're picking hair.
So I do agree, but I also would think of just the few amount of picks that he has. The only other thing I could think of would be to get rid of that, get rid of Magby, and then get a Terra with it. But other than that, and whatever.
Wait.
He kind of needs Magby, but at the same time, Magby's not the greatest.
My God.
Because Magby has Follow Me, so it can be like a redirector, but it also doesn't have the greatest defense.
What did you find?
Something just happened. My main critiques were like Flutter not having Terror. I wish it had Terror. But when I said that, I was assuming that Houndoom had Drought. I thought Houndoom had Drought this entire time, making it just insane, and also a way to enable Flutter further. And I thought that was what was happening. And it's not.
Oh, yeah, I would not be critiquing this team if that Houndoom had Drought. Like, though, if you're going for a weather...
But you didn't pinpoint that. You didn't point that out.
I was going down the list. I was just saying what I see.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I didn't know that Houndoom, base, I didn't know it was given Drought as, like, a buff.
Yeah, it was, and I thought
I couldn't have known.
I thought it got it, and that's one of the reasons I put it so high, is that I was like, oh, there's so much synergy, but we're losing a lot of synergy that I thought we had. I still think it's a genuinely good team, a bit bummed
Yeah, I'm not certain
by there not being Drought.
Yeah, I still think it's a good team. I just don't think it's like an insanely great team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they just knocked it down just a tad bit.
Because like I said,
Ken
it's got
Thundurus.
concept. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that it's got concept, but again, some of the options aren't the greatest. Like I said, Magby being like, as far as I'm aware, the only redirect, and its defenses aren't the greatest. Even with like EVA Life, it's like, it's not something you want. Like, yes, it can maybe proc Flame Body, but like, what, you know, like,
Yes,
what you're
but
gonna base your
also-
economy on RNG.
I mean, yeah, Flutter doesn't have Terra. That's the other thing I need to remember. But
Yeah.
when you have mons that are so strong, and you have also like very bulky mons like Finny and Buzzwole, I think it's okay-ish having not huge resurrection, but yeah, I'm a bit bummed by the drop not being there. Not gonna lie.
And also, a lot of the support mons in this team are quite like weak to ground as well. At least what I interpret as the support mons.
No, that's fine. You have two genies around anyway.
Yeah,
And
but
Buzzwole is neutral. Is resists ground. You're
Yeah, Buzzwole
fine.
will
You
be
only have Houndoom that really is weak to ground, because like Bishop is if I like this, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but I also like, maybe it's just me, but I see like the potential tech for like gravity as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone that really would want to abuse that.
I think that's fair.
Especially not in this grouping. But with that, let's go ahead and jump over to Paige as the last one in this division. And what do we think about this team?
Yo, it's based. It's got Kakuna with no
It's,
guns.
it's got the godly Kakuna.
I ranked it last because it definitely is something.
There's a lot of buffs. I'll give it that. If anything, I think this is gonna be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, but I will say, when I saw the Doscore Weezing, I was like, are we in a Wolfie video? Are we really doing that? It's a case of like, it's going for creativity, and I think it's trying too many new things at once and doesn't know what it's doing. It has cool supports. Powermon has the cool support. Mega Slowbro is Instruct, cool as well. Weezing to Scroll, you can put Sleep, that's really cool. But what are they supporting exactly? Because Typhlosion is good, but it's also too fast for Trick Room, and it will get outsped. It will get outsped in Tailwind by faster mons that are also in Tailwind, and you can't really prevent other Tailwinds from going up in this team.
The thing that perplexes me the most is, well, there's a lot of things going on that I don't quite understand, because I'm a bit unsure about the tech of having Unaware Mega Slowbro on base. I'm not sure what the Unaware would achieve before Mega Evolving.
Oh, a lot of these buffs I don't understand.
Yeah, and then running two separate weathers with teams not really supporting either side. Like, it supports Sun more than it does the Rain, but like Drizzle, Mudkip, and Desolate Land Typhlosion, I mean, they quite contradict each other. And then I see potential tech with neutralizing gas Weezing with like Archeops, for example. But also there are quite a few mons on this team that rely on their abilities. There are some that don't, but there are also some.
Yeah, there's no mon. I mean, maybe Defeatist. Yeah, okay, that must be for Defeatist Archeops.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it would
probably
be
is
for
the
the
only
Archeops
mon
for
that
sure.
like
Yeah.
benefits from it, but that's it. Yeah, there's too many buffs. Weezing doesn't need half of these buffs. You Akamo, I don't know what we're trying to do with that. Mighty Yana doesn't need half of these buffs. Um,
To be fair,
And-
Mo is probably one of the strongest mons on this team, just because of simple no retreat and then Eviolite as well. Like, that's pretty strong, but aside from that, I don't see much else potential, and like that can also be potentially, like targeted down.
in Mirror Herb is also
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Giving you
I
bonus
mean-
ideas.
Sorry, but like, yeah, it's always something you can do. Like, you can do something against it. I mean, you gotta expect it. At least Paige has got a lot of options, so opponents might not see it coming. We've glanced over the Kakuna though, and I think we gotta talk about it.
Oh, we have to talk about this Kakuna.
I just think Cocoon
Because-
is a fun time.
I don't believe in it. While I believe in Doublade, and I think I don't know if it's in this division or another. I don't believe in Kakuna. It is not real.
And the thing with Kakuna is that quite literally by definition, it's unbelievably one note. Like, that is the only thing it's going to do. There is no versatility. Like, if that, like, and I mean, that's
And
all
it can be prevented, like, through ability, through Terra, through Focus Dash. Like, there are a lot of ways to prevent Kakuna from doing
Yeah.
what it wants to be doing, and that's taking one of the 4 spots on your team.
We'll see if it gets a kill. I can't wait for it to get a kill, at least one.
Oh, it already has. It already
Oh,
has.
I love it.
It can work. It's still something with no guard guillotine, but ultimately, I don't think Paige won that fight, and I think that's partly due to the fact that Kakuna is taking a spot and doing nothing else.
Yeah.
While Doublade is bulky enough and has offensive moves that are good enough to actually pull its weight if guillotine is not the correct course of action.
All right.
Because that's the thing, it's like, the only other thing Kakuna can do if it's not doing that is string shotting, just to lower that speed a little bit.
Honestly, praying, that's all it has left.
All right.
So,
So with that, what are the 2 teams that we see going forward?
ooh,
I will say the Desolate Land against Primordial Sea is gonna be pretty fun to see. It's gonna be pretty cool to see.
does it work like normal weather does, where it's like the slower one takes priority?
I think so.
The last one to have entered the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they both enter the field, yeah, I think it's a slow one.
So who do you got?
Mr. Panda and Terabyte or Livy. Depends on the matchup. Actually, I think I'm gonna say Livy, because one of the critics that I said about Terabyte's team was that we're not doing anything against Trick Room. So if Livy can keep the Trick Room up, they might just win.
All right, Daredevil, who you got?
I want to say, the ones I want to go through, probably Livy, just because I like the idea of it. And I mean, rain is also just my favorite weather, even if it's Primordial Sea and doesn't work the same way. It's still, I still want to see that work. And then, yeah, I'd probably say Mr. Panda as well, just because the Fluttermane is just like, it's gonna do so much. Because like I said, like, something that's very underestimated with VGC is just the spread moves. Like, yes, you can have wide guard, which can counter them, but to have to prepare just to even have like wide guard on one of your mons just is enough.
Yeah,
So-
Fluttermane will be scary. I will
A lot of
say,
people haven't got wide guard buffs either.
yeah, I will say Livy as well, but I think it'll be Terabyte. I think if
Yeah,
he
that's
can,
Fluttermane's gonna make it
possible.
through.
yeah, I think if he can play it right against that Fluttermane, I think he could take it. But I mean, I can see any of those going through. I agree with Pages. I think there's just too much going on. I don't think she'll be able to make it work with that much difference going into it.
I think the only thing I believe in Paige's team is the Hakamoa.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see if that can actually make enough of a difference. All right, on to the last division, and go ahead and start us off with Kiritsu.
Yeah, this division is another one that's pretty stacked. Probably second to the Landorus one, but this one is pretty stacked as well. Kiritsu. And that's I put them pretty low. Generally, another team that could be higher. I think the teams are just that good.
And if you want me to get my thoughts on Kiritsu's team, it's like I'd say that the highlight of the team is probably the Zera Aura, getting Galvanized Extreme Speed, plus it can get Stab Terror. Obviously, there are people, I don't know if there are in this particular bracket, but there are people that are obviously running stuff like Queenly Majesty, like liking it. No, is it Armatail? And I can't remember, Dazzling. So, like, that can very easily be shut down, but the threat of it is still there. And I think that's a very strong offensive mon that people have to be aware of. I think this is a team where Articuno can do really well as a support mon. With Snow Warning, you can obviously do Blizzard as spread. I believe Articuno could get Aurora Veil. I want to say it can. Which is very good to have. Ogerpon, I think, would be great as a support, but it can be run offensively if it wants. I think Sylveon's going to do a lot as well. The thing I'm not the keenest on is probably the Honchkrow. And maybe the Iron Treads.
I think I was a bit stunned. I was rereading what I read. I think I was a bit stunned because I think this team deserves higher than I put it. It was quite low, so I don't know what I was on. But then again, the other teams are good as well. But this one could genuinely be higher because it gets a lot of options. It's doing a lot of things. I still stand by the fact that I don't see the peculiar synergy behind those mons. It's another case of like, those are very good mons. I don't see what they're trying to do together too much, but that generally might not matter because it's a pretty balanced team, and I think it can pull its weight.
So I will say real quick, the Articuno does not get Aura Veil, but I mean it's still looking like a solid team. It does not, as far as I do not believe it gets Aura Veil.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
Yeah. I've just checked. It does. So
and some of these need fixed.
What do you mean?
Or are you talking about in the buffs? We have it in the buffs.
No, it gets
no
Aura Veil as a Pokemon. Like.
Oh well, some of the sites are incorrect then.
It might not get it in SV and get it in Nadex, I don't know, but in Nadex it does have.
It does? Huh.
Aura Veil.
Oh, it does have it here. Huh, that's weird. Okay, well, one of the two is incorrect. But in the game it has it, so.
I'm not seeing it on the site I'm using, so, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least we cleared it up, because I was confused too, but no, it's got it on Showdown, so as far as we're concerned, he has it.
Yeah, and I think like
I'll say this team I think has the potential to like very much surprise me. Maybe it doesn't quite get the good division to do that, because those other teams are looking pretty stacked, and this one as well, but it just have less of a team vision, I think.
I don't mind this one just mainly because it's got the spread coverage, and I think that because the goal with Snow is that it's really hard to run a I guess a quote unquote Snow team, because I mean Snow's really weak as like a weather. But just having a raw reveal with Articuno, and just having heavy hitters in like the back is pretty nice to have, I must say. And like I said, it's got a lot of spread. Like you got Sylveon that can be supportive or offensive because it can have like hyper voice as well. Obviously Articuno has guaranteed Blizzard in the snow.
I
and
do
also
realize how
Origin pulls
versatile it
Loretta.
is. How
That's
versatile
pretty-
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
and also with Snow being drawn that late as well, like it feels like maybe like the options were kind of limited on weather as well. So it's kind of just like, yeah, take what you can get.
I'm not saying it has to run the weather. I don't think a team has to run the weather to be good, or terrain or stuff. But I just don't see how these mons work with each other. But then again, in battle, that may be entirely different.
Here's the one that Daredevil mentioned. We got Joseph with the Regigigas.
Yeah, the 9-point Regigigas.
With the 13-point ability.
Which, like I said, it can be very deceptive because it makes it so much better just having not a nerfed ability.
And I genuinely don't believe that Regigigas is like the highlight of the team.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think there's a because I really like this team a lot because it has a lot of synergy, because like you've obviously got Tapu Koko, which is syncing up with Raichu, and also Iron Boulder. Glastrier, which is kind of like a budget Calyrex Ice Rider with the Glacial Lance buff.
It's very scary.
A lot going on, and also Iron Jugulus as well. I forgot, with sprites, it looks like Hydreigon.
And it's got a way to. It's got a pretty reliable way to get Trichroma for Glastrier. So like, it's got a very fast mode, a very fast mode, a very slow mode, spread moves, single moves that are very strong. And Regigigas is kind of a wild card, and you don't know what it's gonna do. I ranked that team second, and I still stand by that. I think it's genuinely very strong.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I would say that this is probably one of the strongest teams, just especially because, like I said, like with the versatility, like it could really go anything. Like you might prepare for it to be slow, and then all of a sudden you've got like a surge surfing Raichu that you can't even like contest. So it's like it's got a lot to it. And the support mons as well. I think this is how I would go about the support mons. Is like yes, expensive support mons can be good, like Whimsicott, but I think that the cheaper ones that you can make work are quite valuable. Like I think Venonat's pretty alright for what it has access to move pool wise. Mega Ordino, I know we mentioned it before as well. Like I think that can do a lot. And like I said, like the team itself has so much like I said, synergy, versatility. Like it could really go any way, and it's really hard to like prep for.
Yeah, this one looks like a very strong one.
It's the main example of like top heavy being good, because you've got like those 6 mons that like you're gonna see most of them in every battle, but they can be doing a lot of things that they all have a lot of potential, and so I don't feel the need for that many other options. Just because of how good the 6 are. And within Mega Odino, it's generally so strong.
Especially with the Decoree as well. Like, that just... It blows this team, like, out of the water, I'd say.
Yeah, it should be a very well-rounded, very capable team. With that Tapu Koko, anything's possible with that. That Mon can carry teams, and with the rest of the cast that he built around it, definitely looks like one of the teams to beat. So with that, we'll hop on over to one of our last two, Infredador.
We have to finish with the two psychics search team.
Yeah, that's what we get.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel
Uh,
like this division, just as a whole, just from looking now, like, I think this division as a whole is probably the most balanced division. Like, I see this one, like, anyone could win this one, just from a first glance.
yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, we can get to the takes when when we covered everyone, but yeah.
Freda and Terrarian I put at 6 and 7 respectively. I honestly I wanted to have a shared 6 and 7 place for the two of them. It's like I had a lot of trouble telling apart which psychic search team would be the best. I think Freda's one has a bit more of a defensive backbone, while Terrarian's one has a lot more speed and a lot more offensive threat.
Yeah. Which I think is really cool to see, as well as like this, like the same terrain but being used in two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But
There's a part of me like
yeah, go on.
Iron Crown is going to be very, very strong, but there's a part of me that like would have wanted to commit on Psychic Search Delphox.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I had a look through the team, like, because I know that it can get Psychic Surge for the Powermon buffs. I was like, oh, maybe like they would run two Psychic Surges that like can't like guarantee which one's gonna come, or like, you know, maybe one goes down in a battle and you need to reset it. But
I don't know if it's worth
Yeah.
having the two of them, but maybe instead of in DD, the team could have been based around Delphox. I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't matter. But then I don't. If we're committing to Iron Crown, I don't know what Delphox is doing.
yeah, that's I think that's the one issue with this team, is that like I think the main threats of the team are very clear. So like you probably can figure out what's coming to most battles. It's just whether you could actually handle that kind of force is the main question. But Iron Crown, I would say, is very scary, especially with the buffs it has, like Technician. It obviously gets Tachyon Cutter. It's got the Twin Beam buff as well.
This team is Tailwind going for it, but I did say I would have preferred if there was also an Burdenmon going on, because I said that Thrakion and Delphox are very fast, don't get me wrong, but they'll get outsped by a lot of offensive carries going around, and I think this division proves it, because they're outsped by Alakazam, they're outsped by Coco, they're outsped by Zeraora. So, like, in every case, one of the strongest offensive mons in the other team is going faster than you.
Yeah.
So then Burdenmon would have gone a long way there.
Yeah, which is what I was gonna say. It's like quite interesting. Is like I think that's like obviously we're not covering the team right now, but like Terrarian's team going for pure like speed, where like it doesn't need the priority and obviously shuts down priority because of Psychic Surge. I think that is the best way to go about a Psychic terrain team. But I mean, I could be, like you said, could get impressed by the more defensive build. That seems to be trying to slow people down, if anything, because I mean, I see Tangling Hair Tangler, which could be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, I really like Prim on there. I think it's a really cool addition to a Psychic terrain team.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well, and I know you were saying before with like the Tailwind, doesn't I believe in like the recent game Shiftry gets Wind Rider, I think, or am
I believe
just
so.
thinking that?
Yeah.
Which that could be really fun to see as well.
I think I ranked Freda's one higher because also I think it wins the 1v1. I think Instruct into Iron Crown, Instruct into Iron Crown just is a nightmare for
Yeah.
Terrarian's team.
Well, I mean, now that you bring it up, we can go ahead and connect that team. Let's go ahead and talk about the Terrarians team, and then we'll see about what we think, who will take it.
Okay. I will say that this will probably be something that will come up in most discussions, but the Smeargle, I think, is going to be a highlight of the season. I think Smeargle, just in general, is going to be one of the strongest mons, and it's going to be interesting to see as well, because it's a very expensive mon to have on your team, but the versatility it gets can be really devastating, especially with what it can achieve. Because
I'm just saddened by the fact that it's kind of crippled by this team rather than empowered.
Yeah.
Because with Psychic Surge, you're not going to be able to target your status moves. You're not going to be able to spore, basically, which is is insane on Prankster Smeargle. So that's my only problem with this Smeargle.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think that this mon in general is going to be a very powerful mon, like you said, over the season, but I do think that it's getting quite crippled by the main, at least how I interpret it, the main mode for this team. But that being said, expanding force on Tapu Lele is very strong as well with the Terra power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but I think
go ahead.
I think the main issue as well with this one is that it gets wrecked by Trick Room. It just gets destroyed by Trick Room.
Yeah, this team
I don't know
is
what it
very
does.
much. Yeah, this team is very much a it needs to stop Trick Room and just keep speed up at all times, because this
But
team
it
is
can't.
very.
I mean, you can turn on Smeargle, I guess, but that's
I
pretty much
mean,
it.
you can also. I mean, what you can also do though is with the Tapu Lele expanding force, you got the spread, you've got the stop to any sucker punches, and then with Typhlosion Hisui on the side as well, you have two spread moves. If you got both of them just hitting non-stop, that could break through the team.
May I introduce White Guard?
Yeah.
If what I'm saying is, if one of the teams, and I'm thinking maybe not these teams, I think he's fine with Trick Room in this division. There's Glastrier, there's Mega Odino Glastrier. We shall see about that. But I'm thinking of the Stack Attacker team with Wailord and stuff, like this kind of team. If they get Trick Room off, you're dead. I don't know what you're doing past that point.
Yeah, you very much your objective is just stop Trick Room being up, but as soon as it's up, it's kind of game over.
Yeah.
Because Freda can imprison Trick Room. At least you have a way to get rid of it reliably. But I don't think that's the case here.
Could Smeargle not?
It could do the same.
So you do have that, but of course though, while saying that though, Smeargle can only do it if the psychic terrain isn't up.
No, because I don't think Imprison is targeting.
Would it not be a
No,
prankster move?
No, because it's technically casting it on itself, so it would...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is a prankster move, but you can't target with Prankster under Psychic Surge. That's the problem.
Okay, huh.
So we'll be able to use Imprison, but this thing is, it will slightly... Smeargle has other moves it wants to be running that Imprison Trick Room, which I think doesn't bother Entity that much. I think, now that you pointed out, maybe Smeargle can do that. It's still going to be a hard matchup, I think.
Alright.
It would definitely be a hard matchup, like I said, the whole point, like I said, is realistically, you just don't want Trick Room to come in full. So...
Because, let's say Smeargle in prison and just Joseph decides to not go for Trick Room and just Glacial Lens. What is taking Glacial Lens?
Well, that's what I think is so strong about this Smeargle, though, is that Smeargle Smeagol has so many possibilities because I believe Smeagol can learn any move, right? So like it can also just have Glacial Lance and Imprison.
I was about to say that too.
Okay, but then it
That
has
would be
more moves, you
that
know?
would be a
And it's
crazy
really just
strat.
normal.
That would be a crazy
Yeah.
strat.
No, that's it. Like it's just there's so much versatility.
But then your Smeagol is a dead slot past game 1.
That's true.
It'd just
But
be
you don't wanna
funny.
see mistakes.
Yeah, if somebody comes in with a Smeargle with Imprison and 3 moves just designed to stop the opponent from using those 3 moves, I will watch that game just for the thrill of it. Alright, so what do we think are there going to be the 2 teams taking the Enamorus Division?
Oh gosh.
I think we
gonna
all
say-
know a number 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Joseph, and I'm gonna say Terrarian as well.
Alright, we got one for Terrarian, and of course Joseph. I think we're all going to be taking.
I would
Yeah,
like
I'll
to
say
see-
Joseph.
Yeah.
And probably Terrarian.
Yeah, I really want to see Kiritsu's team do well, but into this, like all these matchups, I just don't see it making it through. But I really want to see the team
Yeah,
do well.
I like some of his team, but I don't think it's going to take it over these 3.
I'm gonna take back what I said. I'm gonna say Joseph and Freda, but not by much. I just think
Okay.
Freda wins the 1v1 against Tara. That's it.
Well, that makes it so it's not a sweep then. Because I was going to say, I think this one can go either way between Fredador and Terrarian. But I think team-wise, I'm going to take Terrarian.
I think Terrarian has a slightly better team, but I think Freda wins the 1v1.
And that might be the case, but we will find out.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, I think we've covered them all. Any final words for the Genie's division from either of you?
I want to see Kakuna do well.
No.
No.
Kakuna, Hakamoa, like that's a kind of crazy league, you know.
Kakuna can't hurt me. Any final words from Yuta?
Ramek is a wolf in sheep's disguise. He can't be here.
That's so weird.
Don't trust
He shouldn't
Remek.
be here.
All right, and with that, good luck everybody, and I hope everyone enjoys the season.